The man accidentally lost his footing, and his entire body instantly lost control, sliding toward the cliff edge. Behind him was a nearly 100-meter-high precipice, where the slightest misstep could send him plummeting to his death. In a panic, the man desperately grabbed onto the loose soil of the cliff with his hands, managing to stop his fall. The excruciating pain of his nails tearing into his flesh was unbearable, but he dared not make a sound, fearing that even the slightest movement could disrupt his balance and send him tumbling down. Despite his hands being firmly dug into the sandy ground, the cliff face was too loose to support his weight. Slowly but surely, he began sliding uncontrollably toward the edge once more. In this critical moment, he came up with a desperate plan to survive. He spread his legs wide to increase his surface area and used his face as a brake to create more friction. Miraculously, this stopped his slide. Just then, the phone in his backpack began to ring. If he could answer it, he might be able to call for help, but the dilemma was clear. Reaching for the phone could cause him to lose his balance and fall, yet not answering it would mean missing a crucial chance to survive. Life and death hung in the balance. After careful consideration, Nick decided to take the risk. He pressed his face against the sandy ground to maintain his balance, then used his left hand to unzip the backpack. Just as he was about to answer the call, the inevitable happened. He lost his balance and began to plummet toward the edge. This time, it seemed there was no way out, but as luck would have it, Nick's fortune held once more. He narrowly avoided disaster. Below him was the nearly 100-meter-high cliff, with sharp rocks jutting out of the sea. A fall would mean certain death or severe injury. After a moment of prayer, Nick decided to take one final gamble. Since there was no other way out, he chose to leap into the sea below. If luck was on his side, he might just survive. With that, Nick jumped into the sea. Thankfully, he survived the plunge, but the impact was so intense that his lower back struck a sharp rock. Ignoring the pain, he struggled to swim to the surface and eventually climbed onto a nearby reef. There, he finally allowed himself a moment to breathe and recover.